Hello, today we're going to be making a vase arrangement. I'll need my shears, a vase, about medium size, get it at the dollar store. I already filled this up with floral food and some room temperature water. First thing I'm going to do is use Greenery to set my foundation. Pre-measure it by setting it in there or holding it up against the vase. And again, I'm going to be shooting for a shape that is almost like an umbrella. Okay, so I want this to be naturally hanging. Do your best not to get leaves in the water. To be hanging out. So I'm establishing my boundaries. Okay, again, you don't want leaves in the water. Strip at the bottoms of your stems. And I also want to establish height. This is gunny eucalyptus, but you can use a bunch of different greeneries. Okay, so do you see how I'm already establishing my boundaries? I'm a pretty good boundary, so it's right here. This is kind of farther out on this side, so I'm just gonna kind of complement it. Now I think it's a little too long. Just gonna cut an inch off. And the reason why we're doing this is because you can already see at the bottom that the stems are actually crisscrossing, and so they're almost developing like a natural grid. So whenever we start adding our mass flowers, such as roses, they won't just flop around everywhere because they're going to be stuck in that grid. Okay? And so I'm going to do that all the way around my arrangement, so that way when I look at it bird's eye view, it looks nice and full. And almost setting that foundation. So the flowers can easily stay in there. Probably just a little bit more up here. And probably just one more piece of a tall piece. We'll use this stuff later. I'm really stripping off the bottom. Make sure no leaves are getting in there, so this can last for a long, long time. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so now it's pretty darn full. So I should be able to rotate this and see. It's a little long. A little tall stuff. Get a little bit more off. There we go. Okay, so this is pretty good. I always like to start off with my height, and all of my roses kind of have a curve to them right now. So I'm going to try to find my straightest rose. This one still has a curve. Maybe this one. Okay, so this one's pretty good. I would cut all of my leaves off except for the top parts. And I'm going to cut it right there. Notice I pre-measured. And that's going to be my highest point right here. What I could do too is even cut just a little bit more if I want my gunny eucalyptus to just stand out a little bit taller than the rest of my flowers. But we're going to probably keep them around the same size. So I know I want this rose to be right in the middle, but right now it's going to fall. Just because that grid isn't super tight yet, and so you kind of just have to imagine your arrangement, and eventually it's going to start getting pretty tight in there where you are going to be able to see your roses like stay when you put them where you put them. Okay, so I want that one to stay up. That one's just like balancing by magic right now. Okay, so eventually I'm going to do, if you haven't already seen, what I do to one side, I do to the other. What I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. Okay, so I just did, so we're going to end up having an odd amount of red roses in here because, see, it just keeps wanting to fall. Because we have a center, and then we basically have four corners. but they're all about the same height. Okay, so see this middle piece is just going to keep flopping around until we fill it in. Next we're going to add in some mums. These are actually cremones. Carefully take off the netting. And I'm just going to add these a little higher, fill in some spots, and I'm going to put them right in between my roses. Fill that in. Okay, so that's where I'm putting it. Okay, even move it up a little bit because now I got that grid. Moving some of my greenery. Making sure all of my flowers are staying where I want them. For the most part. And I'm going to make a triangle with my white mums because they are a different color. Light, right? So when you look at it downward, you'll be able to see that triangle. Okay? It's hard to show y'all because the flower's gonna move. I might even replace this whole thing. Right there. There we go. Stay. Okay. So now I see even some greenery is getting wild. Just gonna tuck that back in there. Okay. And see how this guy's just really tall right now compared to everything else? We're going to try to balance that out with some filler flower and some form flowers. So, some form flowers I have today are Lysianthus. And they're called form flowers because they have many florets coming off of one stem. And they're smaller, so they kind of make a form, like they color in, fill in a larger way between the flowers so it looks more natural. Because you could use filler flower to fill in, but sometimes you just need to cover more space, so that's why you do form flowers. And plus they add more texture and just more variety in your bouquets, making them overall just look nice. Just look nice. I'm taking off some leaves because I don't want it to be overwhelming to the arrangement. I don't want to see just greenery in places, which that's what we see some places. So again, I'm just filling this in. They're filler flowers. Wherever I see a hole, I'm going to put my flowers in there. I also have some spray roses. Be careful with thorns on these guys. See that I have a big hole right here, so I'm just going to fill that guy in. And I also, if I have a natural curve to my flowers, I'm going to use that to my advantage and have those flowers point in the direction that's natural for them. Okay, I can see that I have a huge hole right there. So this one's kind of curvy, right? So I'm gonna cut that guy and right there. Okay. Still some holes. So you can even add greenery if you want. You're like, okay, I don't know why this hole is so huge. Sometimes with the flowers, they just kind of move your stuff. And you want everything to be nice and snug. So we're just going to add a little bit more. I feel like we can even use another mass flower right there. I happen to have another red rose. I think I'll add it right there. See any bad petals, just take them off. I'll make sure everything is exposed and seen. So notice that I still have like a lot of green on the bottom. So rotate this. Okay, this guy just doesn't want to stay in the middle. But especially as I rotate it, I'm gonna then think about that and where I'm gonna place the rest of my roses, my spray roses, specifically. And notice that when I look at it this way, at least, I think it's really flat on this side, so I'm going to pull up these flowers just a little bit more, make sure that they're held up tight, add in some more flowers in that area, so when I pull them up a little bit, just a little shake, they want to stay. So right here, I see I need some spray roses. Oops. I'm gonna cut them length. I have one more spray rose I could add, so I'm just going to evaluate where I think I need it. I need it right over here. Maybe a little bit more greenery to hang, because this gunny eucalyptus is really pretty and I like that it wants to hang. You don't really want to see a lot of the naked stem, so I see a lot of this rose stem still. So that rose stem right there. And so I don't really want to see that because it just looks empty. So I'm just going to add some gunny euc, make sure the stems are touching that water so they're all going to last for a long time. Okay, I'm going to put my last bit of spray roses. Sorry. And now it's getting a little hard, right? And it's because you got a lot of flowers in here. That's a good thing. It looks really pretty. Okay, now for our actual filler. And this is gonna be fun, but kind of hard because it's so tight in there right now. It's got a lot of flowers, which is good. This is also challenging to take the bottom petals off. This is called wax flower. And you don't want those little needles to get in your water because it could rot really fast. Okay, so what you're gonna do is that I'm just looking for the holes, cleaning off my bottom, LOL, and you're going to find the holes, fill it in, and disperse well. You don't want to put all of your filler flower right next to each other, okay, because that's not good. Recut. It just won't look good. So I don't see a lot of filler over here, so it's still kind of green on this bottom. It's right there. That looks good. How cute. And again, notice I'm just holding the base and I'm just rotating this, man. One of my Lysianthus looks sad. Prop them up over here. Some of my spray roses look like they're getting squished, so just readjusting. And the filler can go everywhere. So even on the bottom, underneath your roses, make sure that it's touching that water, hanging with the gunny eucalyptus. Okay. So see how I'm just filling it up as much as I can. I'm using about 2 stems of my wax flower. Put this right in the middle here. Making sure I'm not totally squishing my other flowers, like jamming them in there. And at this point, I can start lifting. I can start making sure every big flower is being seen. And we're looking full without totally rearranging the whole arrangement. And so I think I need a little bit more wax over here. There we go. Voila! Now, when I set this back, I can just look around and think, okay, maybe I need something else right here. At least I think that's a giant hole. So I'm going to put some filler right there. You don't want to break anything. Okay, voila, and just filled it up. Okay? So it's just having an eye for that type of stuff. Making sure everything has its place. Now, when I touch some of these stems, it's like hard, like they're hard to get out because all of these stems at the bottom are going like this, okay, inside the vase. And it's really because of the shape of the vase as well. Oh, notice all of the leaves in the vase. And I was really good, right? Like I was really good at trying to make sure that I was cleaning off the stems, but leaves just kind of fall off sometimes. So what you can do, without ruining your entire arrangement, grab it by the neck like this, very carefully remove some of these stems. Yeah, there's like a whole piece of eucalyptus down here. Take that off. Okay. Grab anything else. Sometimes what you can do too is straight up dump this out and put brand new water. But I put floral food in here like literally before we started. I think it's good. And very carefully shimmy this baby back in there. Make sure your flowers where you want them to be. The middle one just likes to move. Okay. Alright. It's pretty dang cute. Yeah, it's like I used to work at a flower shop or something. What I'm also going to do is put fresh water in here, and I'm also going to add a bow, because that's why I really like this neck right here. Is not only for the shape, but sometimes you just need a bow to really finish something off. So what I like to do, especially for a larger arrangement like this, what you could do is do some tulle, because I like that the color really comes out when it comes together, and it's really easy to just like make like a cute little bow, like with 2 loop bow. Or what you can do is get number 9 ribbon, and you can just do a 1 loop around here once, or you could actually make a bow like we've done in class. And because it's a thicker ribbon than like number 3 corsage ribbon, your loops need to be bigger. Okay, and you can be really simple if you want and just do 2 little loops. Keep your little tails out and be done. Or you can do like a straight up huge bow. okay? I would just wire this, put a neck on it, and I'd be done. Thank you.